In this Sabre Production feature video, we're going to go over how you can create a purchase order from a sales order with a soft link between the two so that they reference each other, but it doesn't create a reservation, which can be difficult if you need to use that product for another order. Here we are again inside of our Business Central environment, and I'm going to drill into a sales order. So I'll drill into order 2. So I can see here that I need a swivel chair and I need a lamp. So swivel chair is something we produce in-house, but the lamp is something that we buy. So I have my sales line added, and from the line, I can click here on Sabre Purchase, and here I can create a new order. I could link to an existing order, so if I had a previously created purchase order, I could just create that soft link or that reference between the two. If I wanted, I could break a link that had been created previously, and I could drill into the purchase order directly from the sales order. So within the latest feature of Business Central, you can create a purchase order from a sales order, but we've enhanced that functionality to again reference each other, link, drill down, and make connections where there wasn't in the native software. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new purchase order. So it's asking me if I want to create a purchase order, or I could even create a blank order or a blanket purchase order. So in this case, I'm just going to leave it as purchase order. It's bringing up a list of my vendors. If I have a primary vendor set up, it should default to highlight on that primary vendor, but of course, if I chose to use a different vendor for whatever reason, I can do that at this point. I'm going to choose graphic design and say OK. So what this is now doing is creating me a purchase order for that vendor, for that item, for the quantity that was on the line. It can consider things like your purchasing unit of measure, purchase pricing that you have set up. But essentially here now, we've got a purchase order that we didn't need to manually go and create. If you're in an environment where you want to have, like I said, that connection between the two, so the planning worksheet or requisition worksheets won't work, this is a really great tool and option. If I close out of that purchase order, as we can see here from the line, I could always click on line, go back to Sabre Purchase. I could again unlink from that order if later down the line I want to be able to link it to a different order. And of course, I can drill back into the order really easily to be able to see the reference between the two. Within the system, we've also given a little bit more flexibility in terms of how the two interact with one another. So again, in the Sabre Production setup, you'll notice that you've got a few different options. So you'll have the ability to be able to indicate whether or not you want posting of, say, a purchase order to affect the sales order or posting of a sales order to affect the purchase order. And again, you can set that up to be manual or automatic. You can indicate whether or not filters should sync together, and you can do purchase orders for assembly orders as well. So there is, like I said, a little bit extra functionality there that isn't in the native environment. And again, really just being able to, within the same table, reference that information, be able to see it on purchase line updates and sales line update page have been really beneficial to a lot of our customers. If you have any questions about this feature or any other Sabre Production feature, please use the contact information to reach out.